All right, this is a rare two-parter episode of this podcast. So last episode, I did, got a little farther on my circumnavigation of Jeju and had some adventures and some stuff happened, see last episode for details. It was already a pretty interesting day. A lot more stuff happened than usual. But then I ran into this sudden problem getting home in that I couldn't get home. I found out the bus stops a lot sooner than I thought it did, and I got a bit stranded. Not a bit stranded, super stranded. You suddenly realize, what am I supposed to do now? Whoops, this has gone wrong. Anyway, that's the story of this episode. So this technically ties in with last episode. It's all one big long day. But it's such a long day, it felt like 2 days easily. So I've split this episode in half. This is part 2. But if you want the full story, check out last episode. But to recap, I went and had a nice adventure-filled day on Jeju Island. And then I hopped on the bus to get home, and I thought everything was hunky-dory, and it wasn't. So let's take it from there. Uh-oh, this isn't good. Episode's not over. I'm afraid I'm learning stuff I didn't want to learn, stuff I didn't want to have to, adventures I didn't want to have. So unfortunately, I'm learning that the buses stop very fucking early. This is not what I expected, considering there's only buses. Buses are the only way to get around on Jeju. I mean, in the sense that there's no, subways or anything. I guess there's taxis. Maybe I'll figure out how that works. I don't know. But I thought, hey, you're on the bus, right? You're good. If you're on the bus, you made it. Things will be okay. But the bus stops at around 10 o'clock. And if you're on the bus, it just stops at Seongsan, the big cool mountain with the crater on top, which is that even, not even halfway. It's like, fuck, this fucking sucks so hard. Oh man, I saw the little stupid line on the Google bus map, and I was like, what the hell is that? How come that bus doesn't go all the way? What is happening? And indeed, when I got there, everybody got off the bus, and that was the end of it. I was thinking maybe I should have taken it all the way to Seongsan, because that is probably the best place. That probably would have been a good idea, because I bet there was cabs and stuff there. But instead, I got off where the turn is, because that's where the last guy got off the bus. I was like, I'll just get off with him and just go check, the other bus stops a little further down the line. And they all just say, no bus information available. Next bus tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. A mere 8 hours from now. This is far too fucking early for the buses to stop. This sucks. I don't know how time got away from me so easily. If the sun was up, the sun went down as I was on my way to Burger King. It was pretty much dark by the time I went over to Daiso. Okay, there's a cab going by the other way. It does have a green light on the top. Pretty visible, pretty easy to tell that it's a cab, so that's good. Because I'm also walking down this stretch of highway where there's no fucking lights. There's some ahead of me, thank God, but it's dark as fuck right now. This is it's fucking creepy. So I was like, well, shit. Well, shit. A lot of times when stuff like this happens, I just suck it up. And I'm like, well, time for a weird adventure. Guess I'm just walking home. And my squeaking shoe, ever since I got caught in the rain, my shoe's been squeaking if I walk on it wrong. And that's very fucking annoying right now. I am not patient enough for you, squeaking shoe. Fuck you. Yeah, no, I'd normally just suck it up and just walk. But I mean, I don't know exactly how far this is, but from Seongsan to Segwapo, if it was even 3 hours, I'd be like, yeah, well, that's kind of fucked, but maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll just walk. But I'm quite sure it's more than that. It's a really long walk. This is not, I don't think that's a realistic plan. And yeah, I got to another bus stop with another random bus. I was like, I don't know, I could just take this, whatever this is, but no, it's also shut down. I did see the red bus. I think it's the 101. I'm not sure if that's the exact one that I took. No, I think I took the 801 from the airport. Anyway, one of those airport shuttle buses was still going. So maybe those go later into the night, but I have no idea where to catch them or where they go. Yeah, maybe I should have just turned around and gone back up to Seongsan, where at least, it's all touristy and shit. There'd be stuff there. Because, instead I'm walking just down the highway and, I guess I'm just waiting for something to happen. I'm waiting for either an internet signal to pop up so I can go on Naver Maps and just see what they have to offer me, if there's any alternatives, any other buses I can catch or anything I can do from here. And failing that, I guess, try to find a cab. On the plus side, I got like $30, $35 in my wallet, and I've heard that taxis are pretty cheap in South Korea. Like, they're famously expensive in Japan, and of course they're a nightmare in North America. But I suspect it won't be that bad. If I could catch a cab, the ride from here to Segwapo probably won't be any kind of a big deal. Even if it is, I don't care. I'll pay it for the one time that I fucked up, as long as it's not more than $35 somehow. But I got the T-Money card too. I don't know. Maybe they take that. I have no idea. But yeah, it's just like, I'm still, even though the sun's down, it's still so hot and I'm still all sweating and just, I'm just like, dude, the day was supposed to be over. I was on the way home and I got unceremoniously fucking abandoned. This fucking sucks. So far away, not even close to back. That's bullshit. Yeah, I had no idea. I really didn't expect things to end this soon. So I think the lesson is, because like I said, even if you get on the bus, it doesn't matter. The bus doesn't go all the way to the end. That's the part that really sucks. So I'm gonna have to be very careful to bail out of these adventures earlier. No more Burger King adventures. It was fine, by the way. The avocado bacon burger, it was pretty good. But yeah, if I had realized, I certainly wouldn't have done all my little burger eating and Daiso shopping on the other end if I knew I was gonna get stranded. I wonder, I'm not even sure, because it's such a long ride, and I got to at least get past Seongsan well before 10 o'clock, I guess, just to actually get on the bus that goes all the way back to Segwapo. I don't know when that final bus is. I guess I'll have to try to figure it out. Anyway, this fucking blows. This is not what I expected to happen. I thought when I was on the bus I was safe. I thought it was just going to be a long, annoying ride. There is currently no bus arrival information. And yeah, no Wi-Fi. Man, sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you get very lucky with the Wi-Fi around Jeju. But not now. I am fucked in the face. And yeah, I don't even know, when's the next thing that counts as civilization even coming? I don't see anything on the map that looks... I remember walking these stretches. At least now I'm on the real road. I'm not down by the shore. But there wasn't much going on down by the shore, it was all very small stuff. I kind of feel like my best chance is if I happen to pass a convenience store. Maybe I'll pass one that has a cab in the parking lot, maybe. Or like I said, I saw that one cab go by the other way. If I keep constantly looking behind me, maybe I'll see a cab coming my way. I don't know. I don't have a good out here. This sucks. Oh, there was a cab that went by that was not lit up. The top was not lit up. So, okay. There's some cabs with nice glowing green signs, and then there's some cabs that are stealth cabs that are harder to tell. Anyway, I'm sure it'll all work out. And like I said, if I just had to suck it up and walk, I would. But yeah, dude, I'm looking at my dot. I'm on the eastern border of Jeju. I gotta get down to the center of the southern side. It's so fucking far. I have a feeling if I walked this, it'd be a race to see what would happen first. Would I get back? Or would the fucking 6 a.m. bus start running again? Fuck me. Fuck me. Because yeah, that kind of sucks too, is that, I've been in this situation many a time in different cities, like Montreal, stay up real late. I stayed up with my friend Brad one night. We just stayed up super late drinking in a park. And there's a bus going the other way. So yeah, what is this? What is this bus? Yeah, the 101. So whatever the 101 is, it seems to still be going and there's people in it. That seems very promising. If I can figure out where the 101 stops, maybe I'll be all right. Maybe I can take that shuttle. But yeah, we stayed up all night in Montreal talking, and then so long that the sun was coming up. And as I was walking home, I noticed, hey, look at that, one of the metro stations is open. And I got to go take the metro super early in the morning. I feel like I've had situations like that in New York also, but the difference is those are those times when, you know, you stay after hours at a bar or something and it's ludicrously late, you know, it's 4 or 5 a.m. and then you can bridge the gap into the next day and it's not that big a deal. I'd go so far as to call this early. It's 10:15 at night. It is not late. I'm not tired. It doesn't feel late. How the fuck are all the buses stopped? This sucks shit. I was reading all this stuff about how they streamlined the buses to make it easier for tourists, and they even reduced the price, I think I read, and they added new routes, and they color-coded to make things simpler, and blah, blah, blah. Well, you sort of forgot one of the most important parts. You have to actually run buses, dude. What the fuck? Like, maybe you don't want to run them every 20 minutes like they have been all day, but you need a bus to run much later than this, at least a couple of hours later. You should be going to midnight minimum, even if it's like every 40 minutes, every hour even. They can be very infrequent. But what the fuck, dude? You cannot just abandon people. This fucking sucks. This sucks. I had no fucking idea this was gonna happen. This does not feel natural. This is not what's supposed to happen. All these buses are going against the direction. Here comes another one. Maybe the 101 going clockwise is on a different road? Oh no, that was a 201. Completely empty. Just going back to the depot. Wonderful. A couple of motorcycles went by me and a guy in a four-wheeler just went by. I guess that's where I could have a super adventure, a Far Cry adventure. Hey, give me a ride, let me hop on the back. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe too like Toronto, like when the subways stop running, then they run the blue line, which sucks. You know, it's crowded and packed and slow and miserable and full of drunk people. But at least it's just a bus that runs every once in a blue moon throughout the night just to get you the fuck home if you have to get home. This is the first time I feel like I've been legitimately disappointed in Jeju Island. This is way too early to stop the buses. And yeah, they just fucking stop. I mean, they stop so fucking fast that's the part that really gets my goat. Is I was on the fucking bus. You just stopped the bus halfway through the route. That's not supposed to happen, you fucking dicks. And yeah, it's annoying too, just that whatever the 101 is, this seems like as I'm triangulating stuff and trying to piece together what's going on, it's like, all right, that 101 bus, that seems like that's probably my most likely escape. It seems to still be running, which makes sense, I guess, if it's a fucking airport shuttle going to hotels and stuff. It needs to actually run. It can't just fucking stop at 10 o'clock like these bourgeois buses. But now there's no Wi-Fi. Not a stitch of Wi-Fi. Frig. Man, it's creepy too, walking down this highway. There's just sections where there's just no lights. I would say they were just burned out, but it's way too long of a stretch with no lights. It's like, no, I think it's just deliberately no lights. This is creepy. Anyway, I'm sure something will work out. It always does. If I did have to walk 8 goddamn hours to get home, I could. But surely I'll figure out how to find some kind of shuttle or a taxi. Yeah, I should have stopped at Seongsan, that's for sure. Because I have no idea where the next dollop of civilization is, but it's not clear. One thing that's nice, I mean, there's like a bus stop coming up that I'm sure will just tell me to fuck off, but it's nice that even the little digital screens, at least they do just say like, sorry, no more buses. You know, at least you're not going to get stuck just waiting, because I've had that experience too in Vancouver. I remember I was waiting for a bus once at night, and a cop stopped by and just said like, hey, there's a few of us waiting. This bus ain't coming. There's no more buses here tonight. And everyone was just like, what? Oh, man. But it was nice of him to let us know. But anyway, yeah, imagine Stephen King's The Mist. You know, I'm just walking into the darkness. Like there's some stoplights in front of me that are, you know, not that misty, but a bit, because it's still just kind of been so hot today There's just a weird sort of humidity in the air. So everything's a little fuzzy. And yeah, like there's these red lights, there's some more red lights further down the street. Almost no street lights. Like there's some, very intermittent, super dark out. But then across the street there's somebody on their bicycle. Like it's not late, it's 10 o'clock in the summer. This doesn't feel late. So it's not like creepy in that way. It doesn't feel like the dead of night. It does feel like there's activity and there's people around. It's just no buses. This blows. 0 out of 10, Jeju. Big thumbs down. Not cool, man. Not fucking cool. Anyway, I'll fucking endeavor to never let this happen again. But it's an unfortunate lesson to have to learn when you're this far away from home. Very fucking unfortunate. Anyway, like I said, I'll just keep going. Something will work out. Something will come together. And yeah, it's nice that I'm not super exhausted. I'm not all worn out, I feel fine. This is just too far to walk, so something is gonna need to come together at some point. Wow. Is that like cicadas fighting against frogs? That is some fucking nature activity. No, maybe those don't really sound like cicadas. I think it's frogs versus frogs. Anyway, I finally got to some Wi-Fi, and man, Naver Maps is so annoying. I thought this could be its time to be handy to give me an alternate route. But yeah, their idea of setting it to English, I said this before, but it's not fucking English, guys. It's not English. I can't tell what the fuck you're trying to tell me here. Anyway, it wasn't very helpful. I did see a sign that said Segwapo is 39 kilometers away. So I was just thinking, like, some of those early walks I did from Sanganjaya, I was like, I think that was about 12K, right? That was the longish walk, but that's not so crazy. Then if you doubled that, it's like, well, for being stranded, I mean, that's a long walk, but, I guess tripling that, that's where it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I sure hope it doesn't come to that. But I'm actually not sure. I don't know how long it takes to walk 39 kilometers. Do I still have Wi-Fi? I had it for a second. Let's see if it maintained. A slow normal walking speed is about 3 kilometers an hour. Oh, that's not good. 13 hours. And I mean, so yeah, let's say I pick up the pace a bit, it's still like 10. So yeah, that just can't happen. That's stupid. So yeah, it's very not easy to just, in Naver or Google, to just be like, just tell me just give me options, man. I get that the 201 is closed. Stop telling me about the 201. You're not helping. How about something else? So down the street a ways, Sinsan bus transfer. I don't know how far this is. It's not close. It's going to take me a while. But that seems to be where this 101 shuttle goes, although I'm very, very unconfident that it'll still be going either. It seems like it stops relatively soon if these schedules are to be believed, and then it doesn't start again until like 7:30 in the morning. So that's the plan. I'm going to go to the bus transfer and see if I can transfer, but I'm expecting not. However, that's where, I can at least just hang out there. Surely to fuck if there's like a nice cab to be found just with, that's idling, that's just waiting to pick someone up. Surely the bus transfer, I can't imagine how going farther than the bus transfer will do me any good. It'll just be another one of these weird stretches of nothingness. But anyway, there's my the tiers of my plan. Walk to the bus transfer, keep my eyes peeled in case I can happen to nab a taxi on my way there. And if not, just figure it out from there. Surely I can get a cab or something. But basically, I think that bus transfer, for all intents and purposes, that's my home. That's where I'm going to be if for some reason I just cannot get anything going, I'll just literally hang out there until the morning. But I'm not going to keep walking. There's just no point. It's too far. But yeah, from there, from that home base, surely I can piece together a plan. It's got to be a better location for piecing together a plan than this. This walking down the nightmare highway. So yeah, there is that, at least. My very first inclination of when I realized on the bus that something was going terribly wrong and my little bus line only stopped part way. That first inclination I had, like, oh, I should ride it all the way to Seongsan and figure out what to do from there. Big time I should have done that. Oops. But anyway, walking to the next bus transfer thingy, and then we will see. Oh, there's a spooky dog. A spooky dog bidding me good evening. Well, I'm at an area, there's always ups and downs, where things are way better lit, so that's nice, but I think partially why they're better lit is because they're doing road work here. They're tearing up sewer lines and it smells like poop, but at least there's lights. So when cars come, I can actually tell usually if I can see the little taxi thing on the roof from a distance because there's enough light to actually illuminate them. But no one has stopped. I think, that makes sense, right? Why would an empty cab be going down this fucking stretch of the lost highway? They'd only be coming down here if they were taking someone somewhere. They're certainly not expecting to pick anybody up, Any sense of activity is long gone at this point. What time is it anyway? Yeah, now it's past 11, so it's getting into actual nighttime now, and yeah, I'm just for sure in the middle of nowhere. And I got a ways to go. I'm like 2/3 of the way to this fucking bus transfer depot, whatever the fuck. But it is funny just, I recognize this guy. The warning sign that there's construction coming. It's like a little scarecrow, but the little scarecrow is a construction man with a little construction hat. And there's a warning sign next to him that looks like 4 lightsabers that, go up and down, jutting out from his arm. But yeah, I noticed him several times when the bus has gone by. And it's like, oh, there you are, buddy. There's you. I've seen you before. But it is funny how fast, your brain can kind of rework stuff. It's best not to dwell, because when I do think about the fact that the bus has stopped so early, I can't help but be annoyed. So hey, just don't think about it, because it doesn't matter. You can't do anything about it. You can't change it. I can't feel good about it, but I can just not think about it. That's not that hard to do. In fact, that becomes easier and easier as you get older, to just be like, whatever. Well, at least it does for me. I don't know. I guess there's some people that become real cranks when they get old. Maybe it's harder for them, but I'm just like, yeah, well, whatever. Just don't give it any thought. And then I just start reworking things, rewiring expectations. Where I was like, what if? What if? What is the worst thing that could happen? Which is just to hang out by the fucking bus stop. Maybe there's a convenience store there. I could chill out in there for a little bit. Just hang out on... luckily I've been noticing lately that my phones have been getting dangerously close to running out of batteries. So I had a little portable battery that I just haven't been bringing with me. I just put it back in my gear this morning. And it's charging my phone right now. It's like, good timing. And yeah, it's so fucking hot out. I've got my my weather-resistant coat, but I am still sweating to death. I cannot imagine it's going to actually get cold at any point tonight. I think this is going to be one of those things of hey, don't expect nighttime to save you from the heat wave, because it won't, and you'll die. One of those types of nights. I think if I literally just sit on the curb all night, it'll be temperate. It won't be that bad. And waiting until 6:30 in the morning or 6 in the morning for the bus to start running, that sucks. But it's already 11. It's going to be like nearing midnight by the time I get to this fucking place. Maybe I'll even walk like another batch. If I do just decide like this night is fucked, maybe I'll just walk to the next bus depot thing, eat up another 2 or 3 hours, listen to some podcasts, like, I don't know. But I bet the time will go by faster than I think, because this is like a bad thing that became a good thing, is I could not sleep to save my life last night. But yeah, I couldn't fall asleep last night, like at all. I was really having a hard time. The sun was coming up. I didn't go to bed till about 5:30 in the morning. But the good thing about that is I slept in a lot, and that's kind of why it took me. I mean, I didn't get going today till, what was it, 5 o'clock in the afternoon? I've decided to, like, I'm just going to have to make sure I get on the bus back by 8 o'clock. I don't know for sure when the last bus is you can catch that won't get stopped at Seongsan, but I'm aiming for 8. Let's just not ever let this happen again. No, don't even risk it. 8 p.m., that's fine. It'll be dark by then. No need to be dicking around on the other end of this adventure in the dark. I can do my dicking around in the dark back in Segwapo. So it should be no problem. Now that I know, so that's the only problem. I just didn't know. Now that I know this is easy to circumvent, it's not going to happen twice. It'll be fine. But yeah, even if tonight, if I just end up staying up all night, like, there's an extremely good chance that I would anyway. Like, I'd be back at the hotel and I'd be dicking around on the computer till 2 or 3 in the morning, and then I'd try to fall asleep and it wouldn't work, and then it'd be 5 or 6 in the morning, and then I would finally go to sleep, you know? That's probably what's in my future, because that's what happened yesterday. I'm on a kind of backward, upside down sleep schedule anyway, and it's been slipping lately. It's been pretty bad. So yeah, you just kind of got to recalibrate your surroundings. Like, again, this would be so terrible if I was exhausted right now. It would be the worst. But yeah, what's the difference, man? Like, what is the big difference between sitting in the hotel room on my fucking computer till 5 in the morning, or just sitting on a fucking street corner out here on my phone instead? Who the fuck gives a shit? It's the same goddamn shit. Who the fuck cares? And the reality is, like, I'm going to remember this, you know? Like, that's one thing. I've always had, like, the rose-colored glasses, you know? Like, it's very easy to look at things in hindsight and be like, oh, that was nice. And I think I'm getting a little better at being able to recognize that at the time. I mean, I think you could tell from those last couple segments, I was a little perturbed. But even already, I'm thinking, like, yeah, but this stands out, you know? Like, this isn't bad. It's not cold. I'm not that tired. It's just basically quiet. I'm past the construction now. It doesn't smell like poop anymore. I'm on this beautiful street. This highway kind of sucks in the day, but this time of night, it's very quiet. There's hardly any traffic. I'm back to a point where there's actual street lights, so that's nice. I'm just walking along. I can hear little cicadas in the distance. If anything, there could be an upside, because, yeah, like, the only time I've ever had a problem with mosquitoes is inside my hotel room. It's so fucking weird. It makes no sense. I've just had no problems with mosquitoes outside. Nothing right now. Not even a hint of insect trouble. There's a good chance I would get back to my hotel room and then just be slowly driven mad by the one mosquito that's buzzing around. And when I finally get him, realize there was actually 3. And just like, oh, that's like a legitimate issue. But yeah, I'm going to remember this, dude. Like, I'm going to remember this view. Just this lonely, quiet street that is like a 4-lane highway, the fairly major highway, the 201 route around Jeju. But this time of night, it's just quiet. It's beautiful. Like, if only I was a little closer, you know, if only it was realistic to walk home from here, I would just do it. But I've only got a little under 7 hours before the buses start again, and that's just so insane, but that's not enough. That's not enough time. Like, I'll just walk till the buses start again. I don't know that there's any fucking point to doing that. Yeah, and again, you know, a more prepared person, I'm sure there's ways you could telephone for a cab. Maybe there's websites and stuff where you can. I just have never used a cab ever outside of North America. Even in North America, it's relatively rare. Like, even if I get a Wi-Fi signal, I don't know how to call a cab. I wonder if Naver does that. Can you call cabs through Naver? You know, something I can experiment with. I'm sure there'll be Wi-Fi when I get to the bus terminal. How's that going, by the way? What do we got here? Yeah, nope, I'm not close. I'm not close. Fuck, that shit's far away. But yeah, the reality is it's pretty nice. I'm gonna think back fondly on this stupid night. And yeah, it really helps to put stuff in context. Like, oh no, I'm gonna be up till 6 in the morning waiting for a bus if I don't find a cab or something. And it's like, yeah, so what? So what? Otherwise, I'd just be back at the hotel. I got like a fucking episode of WWE SmackDown and AEW Rampage that were on TV a couple nights ago that I haven't watched yet. I would just put those on my fucking computer and edit something, just do some dumb shit. It's like, whatever, dude. It don't matter. It don't matter none. It's only a big deal if you make it a big deal. And I mean, if it never feels like a big deal, if you get stranded halfway across an island in a foreign country and it doesn't feel at all like a big deal from the get-go, maybe you're dangerously cool. I don't know that that's great, a great way to handle things. That's too cool. I think it's all right to be a little fucking perturbed at first. Feel a little stress grinding in your bones. But yeah, now that I'm out here walking, fuck it. It's gonna be a good memory. So another street sign showed up. Seguipo, 36 kilometers. It was 39 last time. It's like, oh no, that number barely changed. Been walking for a while and that number did not go down very much. Yeah, like I'm trying to remember how far, when I was in Western Tokyo, I remember I would see signs sometimes, way up by Haijima, see highway signs for, heading back to Shinjuku or whatever. And I believe it was a similar distance. It might have been more, actually, now that I think about it. Maybe it was like 50. I don't know. But yeah, one of these cases where it's like, no, that's not for you, foot man, walking guy. That's not going to happen. And then Pyoseon, Pyoseon. That's only 9 kilometers. Whatever Pyoseon is, I could get there. Again, like I said, I think whatever the bus transfer is, that's probably good enough. But I guess if I need somewhere to keep walking just to keep myself busy, that's my secondary plan. That's doable. That's still far, but I could do that. Because yeah, I feel fine about staying up all night, but not about walking all night. That's a different story. I can feel, that's another thing, just don't think about it. Because if I think about it, it's like, oh yeah, actually my legs are kind of sore and this, that, and the other thing. I had a giant blister that is basically starting to harden up, but I am noticing it. I'm like, oh, I did buy some more Band-Aids. Maybe I should stop and put a Band-Aid on that bad boy. Basically, yeah, walking all night, that's a different story. I can hang out all night. I can't fucking walk all night. Anyway, when I was looking at the map, I did also see Chicken Point, which in a previous episode, a couple episodes, I stopped at Chicken Point. So that's where the saddle point was between two of these episodes, was Chicken Point. But nothing about this looks like Chicken Point, because yeah, that is one thing that's weird, is I am technically passing all this stuff that I've already done, but I did it down by the shore. The beautiful shore, which this time of day would be pitch black and terrifying. Up here on the road, yeah, I mean, it's just road. It's just the endless road, the road that never ends. I could walk up and down this stretch 100 times, I would never realize that I was walking past Chicken Point if I didn't see it on a map. But I don't know, it's just kind of funny. It's like, yeah. I mean, technically I'm backtracking. I'm going back on all the stuff that I've done. It's just this is the super boring version of the walk. Again, nice in its way. Nice for dead of night. Nice little nighttime weird walk. But in the day, yeah, this would suck. If I did circumnavigate, I guess I was saying before, like, if it weren't for all the nice arrows guiding you along the shore, a lot more of this walk would probably be just walking on this street. And yeah, I don't think I would do that. I wouldn't walk on a highway for 200 kilometers to go around an island. Yeah, this is not the Chicken Point I remember. It's over there somewhere in the hazy mist of the distance. But I mean, there was nothing there anyway. Chicken fucking Point. What the hell was that? It was just a relatively nice, pretty looking area of seaside with a chicken statue, a brass chicken statue. And what is this sign? This is the sign for something coming up in 37.5 kilometers, i.e. Segwapo. Oh man, this is so annoying. If you're connected to the internet and then you lose connection, which is what just happened here, then Google Translate just gets hung up. It's like, oh, I can't find the internet. How can I translate this without the internet? And it's like, dude, I pre-downloaded the Korea thing. You don't need the fucking internet. You gotta close the fucking Google lens, turn off the internet, and it still doesn't work. I should just cut all that about this sign. Because it didn't work. Who knows what it says? Who cares? Whatever. Yeah, no internet connection. Yeah, no shit. I don't need the internet, you stupid fuck. Fucking annoying piece of shit. Okay, yeah, cut all that. Anyway, just thought I'd mention about Chicken Point. That's all. Back to the walk. Man, is that fucking wild or what? I'm just walking by like a farm or something. And I mean, what is that? Is that frogs? Isn't it crazy how loud that is? That reminds me of in Surrey, British Columbia, the city that's like 2 cities away from Vancouver, but it's all connected to the SkyTrain system. There's this park, the Surrey Green Space or some shit, that I used to walk through it at night just to give myself a scare, just to freak myself out. Because even though it was right in the middle of the city, I mean, it felt remarkably like you were just in a horror movie when you went in there at night. You weren't supposed to go in at night, of course, but I cut through a few times, and yeah, very, very frightening. But I noticed in there, like frogs. I was like, God damn, how are these frogs this loud when there's no other sound, I guess, to fight against them, and they're all just croaking away. Really fucking loud. But I don't think they were that loud. That's fucking loud, man. That reminds me, my Airbnb in Fukuoka in 2019 had super loud frogs outside the window that even with, like the doors closed and everything, it was hard to sleep through them. Sometimes. Asia's got some loud fucking frogs, man. I was also thinking, because I've seen a couple more cabs go by with the lit up tops, all going the other way. But I'm digging deep into my memory banks of like New York and stuff. If not real New York, then just movies. Maybe, is it that if they're lit up, it means they're available? I think maybe that's how it works. Maybe that's why some of them are lit up and some of them aren't. The lit up ones mean, hey, I'm available. Not lit up means I'm not available. I'm quite sure now. I've dug that up deep from my brain. Probably basic taxi info that everybody else knows. But I'm quite sure now that I think of that. I think like, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that is how it works. So let's go with that assumption anyway. So if I do happen to see a cab coming at me who's lit up, it'll be a joyous day. But I haven't actually seen any coming my direction yet. And they're pretty rare anyway, so it's probably not going to happen. But that's just a little something I thought of. And here's a 7-Eleven, but it is closed. Yeah, the way everything is 24 hours. Again, how the convenience store life, it's just supercharged in Japan. Not so much around here. I mean, yeah, why would that be open? It would make no sense, but it is certainly not open. Though there's a GS25 in the distance. I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer. All the time. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Getting closer to that bus transfer. Man, that's one thing I was thinking about, though, is how I was saying when I was in Fukuoka earlier on in this podcast, the day that I walked to Ohori Park in Fukuoka, that I was listening a lot to the song We Love You by Avenged Sevenfold, and just how how things fold into your brain, like combine together. That I was like, I bet you dollars to donuts listening to this song is always going to make me think of walking across Fukuoka now. And it does, it's been a while now, and every time that song comes on, I'm like, yeah, you remember that? Remember that day? I don't even know if I mentioned it on the podcast, but I went to this park and there was a broken skateboard in it. I took a picture of the fallen soldier. Somebody left their busted in half skateboard. But what happened this time is right before, or just around the time, right around when I had this plan, when I hatched this plan to walk around Jeju, the band Bring Me the Horizon put out their album Survival Horror Next Gen, the second in this survival horror series. And I don't like it as good as the first one. But, that's one of those bands, like it's a very all over the place band. If you took all of my least favorite Bring Me the Horizon songs, I'd be like, whoa, I hate this band. What the heck? Like pick my bottom 30 songs, I'd be like, this is the worst band I've ever heard. I fucking hate this band. But if you take the totality of their catalog, they're one of my favorite bands because the stuff that I like is so fucking good. So yeah, that album, it's not like they're super duper best, but I just snipped out the 2 songs I like the least just so the flow could keep on flowing. And I've been listening to it a lot on this walk. Pretty much every day I listen to it at least once on this walk. Yeah, I guess it didn't come out until I was a few days in, because I'm thinking of the day. It was the rainy day. Yeah, that was the day. The day I walked out in all the super rain and got fucked and ruined my boots. That was the first day that I listened through that album in total. But it's just cool because it's such a clear connection that this is such a distinct journey that I'm on, such a distinct little plan to walk all the way around the island. And it's not just a song. It's a whole album. So those 2 things combined so well. It's just walking by an empty, useless bus stop as with a sudden change in sound quality. Yeah, it's just going to be kind of neat because I know in the future, whenever I listen to that album, it's guaranteed going to make me think about walking around Jeju because the 2 things are just happening concurrently. And just, every day I listen to it. And every day that I'm walking around Jeju, it's on the playlist. Definitely coming back into civilization. Yeah, this GS25 is actually open. Family coming out of it, hopping in their car. Yeah, this is nice at least. At least I can hang out somewhere. Even if I can't figure out a way out of here. At least I can hang out somewhere where there's actually stuff happening. Not just the middle of nowhere. But anyway, yeah, it's gonna fit together well, those 2 memories. 'Cause you got a taste now, drank the Kool-Aid by the jug. So suffer your fate out, come here and give me a hug. 'Cause nobody loves you like I love you, oh my dear. And you should have known that this was gonna end in tears. Cool, I just had my suspicions confirmed in real time. A cab drove by my way without its light on. It banged a Yui and dropped someone off on the other side of the highway. And then as soon as they got out, the light on top turned on. So that is indeed how it works. I do wonder sometimes if people listen to this podcast sometimes and I have some stupid, obvious question that I don't understand. In this case, maybe they'd be like, well, the lights, it's like whether the cab's free or not, stupid. So hopefully, and if you just hang on for 20 minutes, and then I figure it out later on in the podcast. But yeah, I was tempted. I mean, I would have had to, the problem is again, the 4-lane highway, and it is the middle of the night, but there was a divider here. I would have had to hop across the street over the divider. But I was tempted to just be the second that guy let his previous people out, just be like, hey, yo, right here. But I'm not that desperate yet. It's not even midnight yet. And, I'm piecing shit together. I'm slowly figuring out how cabs work and stuff. Now, wait a fucking... What the fuck? First off, there's some kind of weird whistling in the distance or beeping. I don't know what that is. Some hills have eyes fucking shit. So, like I was saying with this bus transfer, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's not going to be my salvation anyway, because it seems like whatever the 101, the shuttle bus, I haven't seen one go by in some time. And when I had Wi-Fi, it seemed to suggest it was also stopping soon. But yeah, I guess, I don't know, I thought it was going to be a much bigger concern. I thought I would just recognize when I was there, but maybe that GS25 I passed that I was saying like, oh yeah, things are going on around here. I think that must have been the vicinity, because I'm back in Nowhere's Land now. Just as I was walking and talking, I just didn't realize, looked at my little blue dot and I've passed it. I passed the Sinpung bus transfer far enough that I don't want to turn around and go back. And I'm pretty sure there's nothing there, because I would have fucking noticed. I walked right by. I think that was essentially nothing. So plan B, on to Pyoseon, if I'm saying that right. But yeah, I know what that is now, because there's the Jeju Folk Village. That's the first of the beaches that I came across in my travels. That's the Daiso that I went to. So yeah, that's for sure like an actual community, an actual little area where stuff's going on. So yeah, if nothing else, it seems like trying to find a cab is pretty much my only hope at this point, or to just hang out in Pyoseon for the next 6 hours, which again, I don't know, whatever. There could be worse things to do with my life, but I'm pretty sure by the time I get there, it's still a little ways. But yeah, that place I've been to for sure. I've been around that little hood. I know that area. It's like, oh yeah, I remember thinking as I walked through to the Daiso, I was like, oh yeah, this would be cool to stay here, because this is a pretty legit little community. It's right by a beach and stuff. This would be all right. And there were hotels and stuff there. So anyway, yeah, that's a for real place. But yeah, that's pretty bad, man. That's the mistake I made, not getting off the bus at Seongsan. God damn, yeah, if you look at that on a map, from Pyoseon to Seongsan, that's a pretty decent chunk. I mean, I wasn't really at Seongsan, I was at the intersection that leads to it, so not quite all that way, but that's a ways. That's what I did today. That's a pretty good little chunk of the island. But again, I mean, this has been what I've been doing anyway, right? Like, again, just recontextualizing stuff really helps in the old brain. Like, my whole plan is just to walk around this island. And in fact, I even extended all the way to the end of my time in Korea. I was like, good old Jeju. I'm liking Jeju. All I want to do is walk Jeju. Let's just give myself as much time as possible to make sure I can pull this off. So today's just an alternate day. This is just an alternate, this is my Ole trail. This is my B route. It's like, oh yeah, well, instead of walking on the shoreline in the day, now I'm just walking on the empty ghost highway at night. Whatever. What's the fucking difference? I'm still doing what I like to do. I'm still doing what I came here to do. Why not just enjoy it for what it is? Yeah, and especially now that I'm starting to recognize stuff, Chicken Point and especially Pyoseon, now that I realize what it is, it feels close. It's like, oh, that doesn't, because relatively speaking, it was one of the earlier places that I went to. It was only 3 days in or something. But yeah, again, that just doesn't mean I can walk home from there. That is not what that means. All right, change of plans. And I was thinking how I was going to call this episode. I was going to name it after those caves. Because even though it was a pretty small part of the day overall, it was the most notable thing that happened today. It was kind of a cool thing. Now, I'm going to name this, stranded halfway across Jeju Island. But yeah, new plan, man. New plan. Let's go on an adventure. let's get freaked out. Let's get scared. So there's this mist, which is pretty weird because it was quite clear all day. But after the sun went down, there's just this mist hanging in the air. Not super heavy, but enough to make all the light diffused and just make everything a little, especially in the distance, a little spooky looking. And I just stopped, I was at one of these points where there's no lights by the stupid highway. It was super dark, so I was like, I'm just going to stop and pee real quick. If any cars go by, they'll illuminate me, but no cars were around. No one was around. It was super dark. Just stopped to have a quick pee. And I am slowly running out of resources where I got a 2-for-1 coffee at the start of today. So I drank one of those right away, and I had the other one saved up. So I drank it when I started this getting kicked off the bus journey. And now I'm switching over to my bottle of water, and it's getting low. It's getting pretty low. I mean, I've walked by many convenience stores though, so I mean, I just should actually stop in the next one, buy some liquids. And I also bought some little packets of candy from the Daiso. So I ate one, I still got one left. So I got some candy and a little bit of water, but it's getting low. But anyway, as I was standing there, taking a quick pee, across from me, there's this little brook, this little stream. Again, maybe big enough to call a river, but it's dry. So yeah, I think a riverbed, I guess we'll say. And there was just this little bridge that went across it, and then it is paved, but it's like this little street that just went off into the darkness, but it's got tons of streetlights. It's really well lit. And I was just looking at it, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Like the street I'm on now, on the highway is just like, well, I'll just walk down the highway for another fucking hour till I get to Pyoseon. Nothing exciting there. I've been walking down this street for several hours. So I was just looking at that little alleyway, that little street, and I was just like, what is that? Where does that go? It's so quiet and spooky, but it is really well lit. And I was like, fuck it. Let's just go walk down it, dude. Let's just see what happens. It reminds me of this one time in Amsterdam. I accidentally took the wrong night bus. I was staying in a place called Ootthorn. U-I-T Thorn, I think is how it was spelled, but it's pronounced Ootthorn. But I took the wrong bus, and I just ended up going to some other place way far away, because it took a while to realize I was on the wrong bus. And then I wanted to see if it would loop around, and it didn't. So I ended up riding it all the way to the end. To this day, I have no idea where I was. But I was in this little, super quiet, rural, Dutch, just little town or something. And the guy told me, like, yeah, there is another bus coming in 45 minutes or something. Just hang out here. And it felt kind of unreal. It just felt like a weird little tableau I was in, like a life-size diorama. But eventually the bus came, and I had to go all the way back to South Station in Amsterdam, and then take the proper bus. But just looking at this little street just reminded me of that. It just had that feeling of like I'm in a toy more than I'm in real life, just a strange little feeling. That's like, let me just walk down there, I just gotta know. And now as I walk down it, I've been walking past some houses and stuff. Thankfully no dogs. I'm not waking up any dogs. But I think I'm at the end. I'm walking down this street and there's no more street lights. Yeah, the road keeps going, but now it's just dark. Now this is for real scary. Why am I still going? Why am I still walking? I can see some power lines in the distance. Big power tower. Oh man, it's so pretty though. Yes, I'm still walking along this dry riverbed. It's got a bunch of like plant life growing in it. There's like a little farmhouse looking thing on the other side. On this side is just a road. And in the distance there's a field. Yeah, this feels very much like rural Netherlands. This is weirdly flat for South Korea. For Jeju, I can't see whatever like direction I'm looking. I don't see Halasan, the volcano. It just looks like what it looks like in a Dutch field. just a flat field and then a tree line in the distance. And way in the distance, I can see some little lights. God, this reminds me so much of that. It's so weird. Or this actually reminds me of the area between Amstelveen and Outthorn. It's just a lot of fields and like sheep and stuff. And there was always these like buildings way in the distance and little churches and stuff that I never went over to. That's kind of a neat thing. I mean, that happens all over. I've been in so many random different cities, and now in my later years that I'm actually going to different countries, even whole different countries, where you'll just turn a corner or just be in a place and it's like, wow, this place reminds me of that other place that is nothing at all like this and nowhere near here. But just sometimes things just connect. I'm still walking down this road. Why am I doing this? I can still see the streetlight, the final streetlight behind me, but I'm turning a corner. Oh, there it's gone. I'm still walking. Like, yeah, where could this possibly go? Obviously, I'm just going to have to turn around and go back. Yeah, I should just stop. But this is really pretty. Oh, and then just staring up at the sky. Man, this is reminding me, just the last time I distinctly remember taking a time out to look up at the sky was in, oh man, what's that called in Toronto? Over east. But for whatever reason, there was this one neighborhood where 2 different times I got cheap Airbnbs there. Like, what's even there? Near the zoo, I guess. I never went to the zoo, but there's a zoo out there. And I remember walking through those suburbs and looking up at the sky and just looking at the stars. Oh man, this is nice. Yeah, I guess the last time I did something like this, I guess, was in Japan in Saga by Fukuoka, but this does not feel like that. That felt very different than this. Yeah, this is just weird. It really feels like the Netherlands. How fucking weird. I wonder what this looks like in the daytime, but obviously I don't think I'll be back, you know. I mean, I guess I could. There's bus stops all along this route. It's probably actually fucking super easy to come back here, barely an inconvenience. And there's little red lights in this one field. I don't know what those are. But yeah, now that I've stopped walking, I'm okay standing here, but my legs are like, nope, we are not continuing down that way, my friend. Yeah, maybe I will just come back here in the day. Why not? Man, it's so quiet. It's so nice. Like, I wonder. And it's the weirdest thing. Like, I'm looking at these buildings over in the distance, and obviously it's a bunch of Korean people that live there, but I just can't get the idea out of my head that, like, oh, look at those nice little Netherlands houses. There's nice little Dutch households over there. It's crazy how much it feels like that. Wow, it's just weird. Weird as heck. All right, well, let's see. Where am I? Yeah, like realistically, there's probably nothing hard at all about coming back here. This could actually be a neat thing if I don't want to do a full adventure. You know, if I don't have it all the way in me to take the super long bus ride. One of these days, I could come here as a mini ride. Because, yeah, I mean, obviously I'm only a little bit beyond Pyoseon. And no Wi-Fi, that would be too good to be true. But I can set at least a little marker on the nearest bus stop and then properly save it when I have Wi-Fi. Oh yeah, no problem. Sinpung-ri Hadong. SINPUNG-RI space HADONG. Just in case anybody wants to know where I am. And if you go just a little further north up the road to the river, hang a left. And yeah, like I'm looking on the map, if I were to keep walking, so I'd walk along the river, and then along here, and then over here, and over here. And yeah, just endlessly through nothing. Yeah, this is not a shortcut to anywhere. This is not going to anything. And then eventually I'll hit a highway. So not a good idea in the dark. And in fact, I'm going to start walking back, but I'm going to come back here in the daytime for sure. Why the hell not? Do the walk in the day, see what this place really looks like. But at night, it's fucking gorgeous, man. Just these rolling fields, field after field after field with the tree line in the distance. Yeah, it's just bizarre that I can't see any mountains. I mean, this whole fucking place has got a great big mountain right in the middle. What's going on here? It must just be a trick of the dark or the mistiness or whatever. Man, I don't know, just nice. This feels nice. And yeah, it just feels good to, instead of, I guess, just trying to, it's like I'm falling out of a plane, right? It's like, oh no, I got tossed in this situation. And I got to assemble a parachute on the way down. And what better parachute than to just say, fuck it, dude. Fuck it. I'm not at the mercy of getting booted off the bus before I got home. Take control of the situation. Make it your own situation. And this situation I've devised is go on an adventure. go walk down a spooky street. And then when there's no more lights, keep walking. An entire, oh man, I probably made it 50 whole meters. What a brave man. Yeah, and it's just so dead quiet. No one's around. I mean, I feel like I probably could just keep walking until I get to the highway, but why? Why? And what if something did go wrong? This is a little piece of piss. This is a fun little stupid thing to do. But to go further would actually be stupid. And scary, no doubt. No doubt that would get pretty fucking scary. All right, now I'm coming back to the residential area. I'm going to stop talking so I don't bother anybody. I'm going to walk back to the highway and then just head to Pyoseon. But yeah, it is funny though how this is like such a weird, like I had to walk for so many hours through the dark dead of night to get to this one peculiar weird little place. But yeah, in reality, in the daytime when the buses are running, this is nothing but a bus stop between Pyoseon and Chicken Point. It ain't nothing. It's nothing special at all. But this will now become special. This is going to become special to me. There we go. Back under the streetlight. Damn, dude. I'm going to remember this night for fucking sure. What a weird night. Okay, now I'm going to go and stop talking. Oh, I've actually gotten close enough to the shore. I wonder, were there other points where I could see the shore and I just didn't realize? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not though. But I can see it for sure here. There's like lights going out to a pier. And yeah, I can just see the lights shimmering off the water. I guess if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be able to see the water at all. But it's fucking pretty, very, very hazy out there. Reminds me a bit of walking along that trail in Busan along the coastline and just seeing the ghost ships out in the distance. Real nice. But things are certainly getting a little strange. Still just walking to Pyoseon. But I've got this knee brace I always wear because I just have a bad knee from my scoliosis imbalancing my whole body. Oh, look at that. Way in the distance. A little red lit up cross. Not that many of them here. Jeju was still the fucking king for that. It was wild how many fucking churches there were there. But anyway, technically my knee brace is 2 knee braces. My old one was falling apart or getting a little unstretchy. So I bought a new one, but it was actually a bit too large. But I found if I put them together, it really worked well. I keep the old one on, and then the new, bigger one isn't really enough to compress my knee, but it's enough to hold the old one in place. Anyway, I just started noticing though like a rash developing on the back of my leg. I guess just from the humidity. I've never had this happen before. And it's like, uh-oh. Now I got a choice to make. Do I deal with the pain of a rash developing, or do I deal with the pain in my knee of not having my knee brace on? So I took down the smaller, tighter knee brace, and I've just got the bigger one on, but it is kind of loose. It doesn't really do much. So yeah, it's just more of a reason once I get to Beach Town to just chill out there and either find a cab or just literally chill out there for the evening, for the night. But yeah, the other thing, I was on one of these stretches where there wasn't really lights, and thank goodness I just happened to notice in whatever dim light that there was, some industrious spider made the fucking king of all spider webs. This big ass fucking motherfucker of a spider web across the whole sidewalk. And I was like, am I seeing that? Because I could only see like one big thick strand of it. So I pulled out the flashlight on my phone. And yeah, there's this big, thick, giant spider web with a big ass spider right in the middle. And I was like, I don't even know what you're anchored to, buddy. How did you even do this? What the fuck? So I literally had to walk just to make sure I didn't fuck up this spider web. I had to literally walk out onto the street. I mean, there were no cars around, but it's like, I got to get way around here because I don't know what this thing is even anchored to, just to make sure I don't fuck up this spider web. But I was so lucky. I cannot believe I didn't just charge right into this great big fucking spider web. But like, dude, really? I don't know. I guess spiders probably don't have a lot of long-term memory, but every day there's tons of traffic and cyclists and stuff and just pedestrians and everybody walking down this. Not the right place, my friend. When the morning comes, that spider web is getting fucked. So enjoy it for tonight, I guess, Mr. Spider. But anyway, at least I didn't walk into it. That was fucking lucky. And it's nice that I figured out the most basic thing that everybody knows about taxi cabs, that I still haven't seen a single one going my direction with an availability light on. A couple going the other way, but even though it's pretty rare, but not a single one going my way. But it's nice that I figured that out. So now, if I look behind me and there's no light, like that car that went by was a cab, but it was hired by someone else. It's like, well, nice. Don't have to worry about it. couldn't have taken that one anyway. Frig, there's another sign. Segwapo, 32 kilometers, but even Pyoseon, still 5K to go? Suck my dick. I really thought I was closer than that. So at 3 kilometers an hour, I mean, I think with my long ass legs, I'm gonna guess that's more like an hour for me, but really, an hour? It cannot be. It cannot be an hour. You fucking high? That is way too far. I don't know, maybe that's to the city center or something. I'm having a hard time believing I still have that far to go, but anyway, that's what the sign says. Christ! I hope I can find somewhere to buy a bottle of water before then. That would be nice, because I'm afraid I'm all out. And they have given up on the streetlights for this stretch, like totally given up. There are just none. It's pitch fucking black. There's some way in the distance, but I don't know if that suggests a return to streetlights. I hope it does. Or if that's just temp. But yeah, I literally need to pull out the fucking flashlight for this shit. This is by far the darkest stretch yet. This is like, it's like when I was on that little country lane, but I'm on the main highway. What the fuck is going on, Korea? I'm walking by coffee and the second word is in Korean, so I don't know. I mean, there's businesses and stuff here. This is a perfectly cromulent part of the highway. How come these guys don't get any lights? What's going on here? Very strange. I mean, it's been a little spotty, but it hasn't been just a complete abandonment of light till this point. It is cool though now, especially that I got a plan, that goes from here. A new plan for adventure that I can go back to that weird little country lane and walk down it and go do that. That's kind of cool because, again, turning this situation around, turning it upside down, where, if I look at it that way too, it's like, you can't put a price on adventure, right? Like I have an adventure to do now. And, it's just a dumb little pointless adventure, but that's how they all are when I travel. And it is just, again, like not stuff that like matters. It's not anything that's anything. It doesn't have a name. It's not important. But all the stuff that sticks with me the most is just like important to me. Like I was talking about that random little place in the Netherlands and just different shit like that. This is that to a T, I mean, like today, I'm getting pretty tired out. I'm thirsty. I'm a little perturbed at how far I have left to go. My knee's starting to hurt. I'm not going to pretend that I'm having like the most fun time at this very second, but this goes way back to that, I think I was talking about this when I was hiking from Shibuya to Itabashi early on in Japan. The type 1 and type 2 fun, type A and type B fun. The type 1 fun is things that are actually fun, and type 2 fun is stuff that'll be fun later. This is totally type 2 fun. This is going to be fun later. Like, I'm really excited about the idea of coming back to that one little lane and walking down it. And it's like one of those things that there's a million little streets and a million little lanes and there's a million little places I could walk on this island. But like, how would I pick one? What would it mean? Why would I do that? But now this one has relevance now. This one is important because this is the one that I wouldn't even have seen. I would have walked right past. It was literally because I stopped to take a leak. And I stood there long enough staring at it for it to sink in, for me to go, wait a minute, what am I looking at here? Look how beautiful that is. Where does that go? And then the adventure worm burrows into my brain like, what's down there? I want to go see. I remember one time I was on a road trip with my parents, and we were just in, random Minto, New Brunswick or something. We're on our way home. We stopped somewhere for some reason. I don't remember where or why. It was just a random point in the road, on the highway, out in the woods or whatever. There's just nothing. But we were by a hill, and I was like, just hold on, I'll be right back. I was like a teenager, I guess. And I went and ran up the hill. And my mom was like, where are you going? Don't they? I was like, just hold on, just wait. Because I just had to see what was up on the other side of the hill. Even though I'm pretty sure it was the hill we had just come over on the car, but I wasn't paying attention, I was looking at the window. And I just felt that feeling in that moment of like, what's up over that hill? Just give me 1 minute. I just have to go up and look over the hill. And it's funny because I remember so much about that scene. It was me, my brother, and my dad, and my mom. And yeah, I must have been relatively young because my brother wasn't fucking crazy yet. But I don't remember what the view looked like at the top of the hill because it didn't look like anything. It was just more highway. I do remember that sensation of like, oh yeah, of course. It's just the highway and more trees and rock gravel quarries and shit. I don't know. It wasn't anything. But I had that feeling that I just had to know. And I still have that feeling. Like once I saw that lane and I focused on it a bit, it's like I have to know. Put your penis away. You have to know. You have to know what's up there. And yeah, like you can't put a price on adventure. This is a little suspect this evening. But I wouldn't trade it in, Like if I just got stranded, I guess. Imagine if it was raining or something. Oh man, I don't know. Then it would just suck though, if it was just like, well, just on a trudge. But like now that it's become like this series of events, I had to not know how the buses work. I had to get on too late. I had to get abandoned partway home. Then I had to make the ill-advised choice to walk to the next city center, which was very apparent. Apparently I'm still not really there, really far away. They're few and far between on Jeju. Then I had to stop at that one place to pee. Then I had to see that lane. All these little things that had to line up, it's all just circumstance. But that's what makes a thing important. That's what makes an adventure happen. Fuck. Why are there no lights? I went past a little section where there was lights and now there's no lights again. This is ridiculous. Now I'm essentially I'm even thinking like my sidewalk has kind of disappeared. Instead of a 4-lane highway, it's basically a 6-lane now. Walking past another ghostly dead bus stop. And yeah, now I'm just walking on the side of the highway with no lights. Fuck. This sucks. But this is the price. This is the price. This is how an adventure develops. This is how something takes on totemic significance in one's mind. This is all, I was going to say this is all leading somewhere. This is all going to pay off. This is all going to be worth it for a future adventure. Am I just, what's that word? when you're trying to convince yourself of something. I don't know. I'm getting pretty worn out, I guess. My brain's not working, but it's like Stockholm Syndrome on myself. There's a word for that. Rationalizing? I'm not sure if that's the word I'm thinking of. Close enough, though. But hey, whatever, dude. The circumstances are what they are. Nothing I can do about it. But yeah, you can always apply to these situations the spirit of wussy modern day adventure. I mean, it's ridiculous that I'm calling these adventures. It's nothing. Again, I'm just going to get on the bus and come to a bus stop and walk down a lane. It's going to be nothing. Even this, it's quite spooky because it's nighttime. But if it wasn't nighttime, there'd be nothing. Whatever, I'm just walking. Who the fuck cares? But hey, we live in a soft world. We live in the modern age. True, dangerous, wacky adventure. It's not that it doesn't exist, but you kind of got to go out of your way now. Back in the day, I feel like that was a lot more like, hey, that's just how it was. The world was dangerous and rough. Nowadays, I don't know, I feel like it's a little suspect to go on a legitimately dangerous adventure. Oh, I'm going to fucking kayak down the fucking a river in Brazil and get my head cut off. Yeah, maybe don't. Maybe don't do that. Maybe just have a nice country lane adventure. Maybe just do something soft and fucking easy. Still fun. Still an adventure, dude. Soft adventure. SAWFT. Oh man, I really didn't think I had this much farther to go, but I do. All right, let's just keep on keeping on, man. All right, I'm getting a little closer to civilization. I got some Wi-Fi, so I got to save the spot for Sinpung-ri Hadong bus stop. And I'm seeing here it says the next scheduled bus. I was thinking it was like 6 a.m., but it's saying like 7:15. But hopefully that won't become an issue that I'll have to care about. So I got to a convenience store. It was one of the nice to see you chain. So I officially give them some points. I still tend to trend towards 7-Eleven just because I know they have latte ATMs that'll actually accept my card. But you win some points, nice to see you, because you were fucking open. And yeah, it's only like 1:30 in the morning now, so there were some people outside sitting at a picnic table just chatting away. A couple ladies just having a talk, and it's like, extra confirmation that this place is fucking open. How nice. And I stopped in and I got buy two, get one free orange juices and a bottle of water and some popsicles. I got the traditional melon popsicle and I don't know what the other one is. Orange color, something or other. And now I've just taken a nice little seat in a bus stop, which I have no danger of being interrupted by a bus. No worries there. Just sat down, put instead of the blister I was developing yesterday, although now that I feel it, before I get up and get going, I'm going to put a Band-Aid on that one just to be on the safe side. I got waterproof Band-Aids because of the awful humidity and sweatiness. Who knows what's going on in these boots? I figure waterproof is better. I didn't put one on that one, but I think I will. But now on my other foot, which has kind of a permanent blister, but it's like really stiff and it's no problem. But I developed a secondary blister above that blister. Like getting blisters on my blisters here. So I stopped and put a little Band-Aid on that. But yeah, I'm just sitting here and then on the walk, guess what I listened to? I listened to Bring Me the Horizon. Post-Human Next Gen. My specific playlist, I took out the song Lost because it's just, I don't know, it's so pop-punky, hyper-pop punk stuff. I don't know. It's just, I'm not feeling the vibe on that song. And I think it's the song right after. It's Strangers, which is not a bad song, but again, it just pulls down the vibe. I just feel like it's hard to make my way through those two songs back to back. It's like driving through mud trying to get through them. So I was just like, take those out. But then, optionally, you can add in the song Werewolf with Lil Uzi Vert. But then the other one I added in is Happier with Youngblood, because it's got the singer from Bring Me the Horizon on it, and it fits perfect with that album. So yeah, just walking along, listening to that album. Found a convenience store, bought a bunch of shit. Chillaxing now. Like in its own stupid way. This has turned out to be a pretty nice night. It is, it's again one of those things that's only bad if I think about it. It's eerie being this far from the hotel and really not being able to get back there. But I just have to assume that as I get closer to civilization, I mean, there are a lot of cabs going by. They're just not free, but... Oh, there goes one right there. Also not free, but... Yeah, I gotta assume as I get closer to civilization, I'll just find a cab and solve my problems. Yeah, I even paid for this stuff with my T-Money card just to make sure. Not to spend any cash, just to make sure I got cash for the no doubt inevitable cab ride. All right, so let's see, what is this thing? No English whatsoever, but there's a bottle on the front. Sort of looks like a soda bottle, but it also could be one of those like vitamin drinks. And an orange package, so I don't know. Let's see what we got. Oh, okay. All right. I didn't expect that. So inside there was like a wrapper, but inside it's like a plastic bottle. So I guess it is just like a popsicle type thing in a bottle shape, which I'm not totally sure how to open. I've never really seen this. Do I use my teeth? I've never really seen this kind of package. Okay, I don't know if I was supposed to use my teeth, but it worked. Not sure about that. At first I thought it was like pineapple, but I think it is one of those, like, it's flavored like one of those vitamin D drinks. Not the really sweet, sour ones from Japan, but more like, well, I guess in Japan you can get vitamin D or vitamin C ones, but they taste more medicine-y. And I did have one of those here in Korea. I bought it just because it had the guy from Train to Busan. That one really cool guy in that movie that, he's like the, there's the main character who's like the jerk dad who works too much. This guy is the secondary main character they meet who has the pregnant wife on the train. He was the spokesman for this vitamin drink. He was on the bottle, so I bought one just because he was on it. But again, it has that weird medicine-y taste, and that's kind of the taste this has. So it's not bad, but it's not wonderful. But I got the melon one as a backup, which is wonderful. Yeah, and this is ice cold. It's going to take a little while for this to melt enough to eat, but yeah, that's fine. Give it a good home as I walk in my belly. Man, this is a good example, too, of how it's still so humid out. It's still really... There's a teeny chill, but not remotely enough for me to put on my coat. And yeah, I'm still buying frozen fucking stuff in the middle of the night. And it seems appropriate. But alright, I'm gonna load up with another Band-Aid just to be on the safe side. I did pull my knee brace back up. Rash be damned. A rash goes away easier than chronic knee pain. Then I'll continue on the journey, but yeah, pretty fucking nice, pretty delightful to find that convenience store. That's good stuff, man. I'm feeling it though. I'm starting to feel the tiredness a bit. My brain's getting a bit logy. I was very tempted to just get a bunch of coffee and stuff, but I mean, that's a bad idea. Just because I'm in these weird circumstances, it's still best not to, then when I do get back to the hotel, it would like ensure that I would just be up until 8 a.m. if I drink a bunch of coffee. No need for that. Just plain old hydration will be fine. If you could tell me how you feel, I know that you'd be happy too. I'm not broken, I'm just scared to belong here, scared to be happy or lonely. I'm not lonely, I'm not lonely, I'm just near it, not lonely. Not lonely, not lonely. What the fuck, man? What the fuck, man? So I got to Pyoseon Beach, and it's all lit up, and it's really fucking pretty. There we go. I'm just properly approaching it now. There's lights all around it, because it's like this one is really horseshoe shaped. It comes really deep into, like, toward the city. And it seems like the water is way higher right now than when I was here. It was a really long beach when I was here before. Now the water's coming up quite a bit. But they've also got lights set up all around it. And it's so pretty that I crossed over the street to come over and take a better look at this beach. And I swear to God, I had just walked over and I was fiddling around in my little bag to get out this recorder. And a goddamn taxi went by on the other side going my way that was available. And just zipped on by. And I was like, you son of a fuck. I've been walking on that street for fucking hours. For fucking hours, dude. I don't go across the street to look at this stupid cunt beach, which is super pretty. God damn, it looks nice. That's insane. But also just because I was thinking, like, this is a little, like, eerie in a way that I'm here now, but I don't actually know how this place works. Like, where's the center? If I was going to go find, where's the coffee shop where the taxis are hanging out or whatever? How does that work? I don't know. I was like, now that I'm here, I actually don't know where I would go to find a taxi. It's still dead. There's nobody here. Hence my yelling. I feel like it's okay to hilariously yell at 2 in the fucking morning because there's no one here. But anyway, I guess the fact that a taxi cab just went by, it bodes well, though. That's a good sign that probably another one will come. But are you kidding? Anyway, this beach is really fucking pretty. Oh, and this is cool. Like, there was all these little statues set up all around the beach. But even at night here, there's just enough lighting that you can just make out their silhouettes. Yeah, this is pretty as hell, dude. This is really cool, because, I just don't know that I would have ever been here at night. Well, of course I wouldn't, especially now that I know nighttime's dangerous around here, because you can't trust the bus system. So soak it in, boy. Soak in this view. Soak in what you're looking at. You missed your cab for this, you fucking fuck. That's insane. That timing is just like, God, it's me, Margaret. Are you just yanking my dick right now? What is this shit? You fuck. It's not funny. Stupid asshole. Like, what is the timing there? But anyway, the other thing is it got cold real suddenly. Although that could have also been because I guzzled down 2 icy bottles of orange juice and ate 2 popsicles. That second one, the one that was in the little plastic bottle, which is now awkwardly in my back pocket. Hopefully it doesn't drip things into my jeans. Drip residual sugar water. But it was hard to hold. It was so cold. And this is where I'm really glad that my Canadian training of just having layers and always being ready. I've been bringing my semi-fancy weather-resistant jacket that I bought in Montreal. I've just been rolling it up and keeping it around my shoulders. Because it's a nice way to keep the sun off my shoulders, although I'm getting a redneck anyway. But I just never need it because it's so insanely hot. I mean, today is 1:30 in the morning, it was still super hot and sweaty. But I only had one day where I didn't bring it. I just brought a little thermal shirt. And yes, something felt wrong about that. Just like the what if, just in case type of feeling that's just bred into me from growing up in Canada. You cannot get caught outside without proper clothing. You will fucking die. And I'm glad that I got that burrowed deep into my brain because, today was a perfect example. There's no way I needed this thing. Way over, it's way too much, just way too hot. It's probably just adding to the sweatiness, even just having it draped around my shoulders, probably just, making me hotter. But then once that chill hits, I was like, thank fucking Christ I've got this thing, because it is way more than enough. It's still tropical ass Jeju. Put this thing on now, I'm totally fine. But it's like, it's like in Breath of the Wild when you're not prepared for the cold and little Link is just chattering away. It would be so bad. Just exposure to the elements. It's fucking dangerous. you can just get fucked so fast. Just exposure and hypothermia and all kind of horrible shit can happen to you, like, easy. The human body is really, really, really shitty. So yeah, I'm really glad that I have this thing, and this is definitely good motivation to keep doing that. Doesn't matter how hot it is, bring the layer, because like I could not have ever predicted I'd be in this situation. But like what? Test. But what if I am stuck here all night? No problem, I got my coat, I'll be fine. If I didn't have my coat, be in big trouble. I don't know, maybe that convenience store I was at, they usually sell t-shirts and stuff. I have to look like, do you have something heavier so I don't die, please? Thank you. Sudden sound change, by the way, because also everything is slowly falling apart. I noticed on my recorder, it wasn't lighting up to show me the screen anymore of like how much time is left, yada yada. I was like, oh, my battery must be almost dead. And I guess it is, because yeah, it just died while I was yammering. And before that, while I was listening, I got to the final song on that Bring Me the Horizon album. I got to dig it. And my little Bluetooth headphones died. Luckily, I have 2 pairs. I bought 2 pairs in Japan. So one of them's dead, though. That doesn't happen very often, but that's how long I've been walking around. See, it's a good thing I brought this charger for this phone. This one got back up to 93% before the charging battery died. So my charging battery's dead, my headphones are dead, my proper recorder's dead, but this phone's pretty good. 92% it just went down to, but not bad. And then my other phone, what is it at? It was at 50 last time I checked, so it's probably way lower now. Oh, still 45, yeah, not bad. Not bad. But yeah, everything's slowly falling apart. And yeah, now that I'm here, yeah, like I don't know where the center of town is. Like I'm here by the beach and all the cool lighting and all the sweet statues, but there's nobody. I walked by a couple of people earlier who were just stumbling around, but there's nobody on the streets. Not really any other traffic. Yeah, again, I mean, this is it. I'm not going any further. I'm staying here. So I guess I'll just mosey around this little town and see what I can see. Yeah, hopefully I'll just stumble upon some taxis. If not, well, I mean, it's like 20 after 2 now. What's another 5 hours among friends? That's my worst case scenario. Just dick around here for 5 fucking hours and take a bus. But yeah, hopefully now that I'm here, I can find a cab. But it is just as dead here as it has been the whole walk. Really pretty though. Yeah, like over here across the street, there's like I never noticed these statues before. They kind of look like Roman statues. There's like a lady playing a cello, a sort of matronly mom, a little kid, and they're all lit up. Very beautiful. Anyway, I should stop yammering because I'm just killing my battery. But anyway, wish me luck. Wish me luck now that I'm at Pyoseon. That I can, yeah, there's just nobody here. Fuck. I had this idea in my head of like, I don't know, like a convenience store with a bunch of taxis in the parking lot. Is kind of what I was hoping. But there's nothing here. There's nobody. There's no traffic. There's not shit. Anyway, yeah. Even just like that taxi that went by earlier. Even if I do just dick around, as long as I keep myself in a good position to intercept the next taxi, probably it won't take 5 hours. But okay, I'm going to turn off this recorder. Get down to the mission. Hey, there's a car in the distance. Let's walk in that direction. Let's see what's going on. Test. All right. So I took a little walk around the hood up to where the Daiso was, and just the spot on the map where there was like a cluster of bus stops. So, it's just clearly a little more of the center. And there are still people out and about doing stuff. But then as I was looping back around, back down toward the beach, hey kitty, what are you doing? I just saw this cat earlier, this just a street cat, but it seems to be in pretty good shape. I did see one earlier that, was just very, embattled. You can tell he'd had a rougher time. He was a little wary of me. This one seems very chill, but he's just sitting in the middle of the street. Why would you do that? I mean, there's really no traffic. It's fine. It is fine. But I'm going to walk over to you. What are you doing, kitty? Hey, kitty. There we go. Just to get it to not sit on the street. Oh, and that's a second cat making that sound. It's underneath someone's car. Anyway, I did see the mythical taxi sitting in a parking lot. But yeah, I kind of walked by and I was like, again, the fucking tinted glass. Why are there tinted glass in a taxi? I don't understand why you need the tinted glass at all, unless you're a fucking hip-hop mogul from the 90s who lives in New York City. But in a taxi, it seems double weird. But yeah, his light at the top was off, and there's red lettering on the front window that, just, I have to assume just says out of service, because it's, just unfriendly red LCD lights in the front that say something. And I kind of peered for a moment. I'm like, is there even anyone in there? What's going on? And then I realized okay, yeah, the headlights are on. I guess someone's in there. I don't know. I think I was peering long enough that maybe maybe it looked like a guy who was looking for a cab. I don't know. I was like, hey, maybe he'll flash his lights or something and we can do a transaction. But he did not. And also, though, the trouble is those 2 popsicles and 2 orange juices, I just needed to pee really bad. So it's I can't really right now anyway. And it's just weird as heck to go up to this scary fucking tinted windowed fucking car and just tap on the side. Hello, sir. Could I please have some more? Can I have some taxi gruel, please? When he seemed very obviously, on a break or whatever. But also I just had to piss like crazy. So I was like, well, let me just go find somewhere to pee. But then I wandered back up there and I was like, it's a little past 3 o'clock in the morning now. It's am I desperate enough to go knock on this guy's door, awkwardly? But he was gone. He is off somewhere else. And then I looked in now that I do have a more consistent Wi-Fi, which is another good reason to hang out around here, even if it's not exactly a hotbed of activity. At least there's consistent Wi-Fi. Just did a little searching about taxis, and yeah, it's not exactly easy. There's there is an app, I guess, but you need still a phone number. And there was some arguing about, do you need a Korean phone number? Can you use an American phone number? But it doesn't matter. I don't have a phone anyway. I don't know. It's just totally ill-prepared for any of this, but the little quick research I did about taxis, it, it's just some Reddit posts and stuff, but it's it's maybe not the easiest thing in the world. And they're talking about, too, how, this bus I was on, it sucks that it stops so early, but it is very consistent. They were saying a lot of the other buses are a lot less consistent, because it's just rural around here. If a bus is supposed to come every hour, sometimes it just doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't come that hour. Just people giving the advice of prepare ahead, because this type of shit can happen. You can get stranded. And yeah, again, I don't know. It's amazing how fast the time gets eaten up just taking that little stroll around the hood. Ate up 30 or 40 minutes easy. But anyway, I guess my plan is just to hang out down here by the beach. So I'm still on the same route that I've been on this whole time. But here is it narrows. Before it was if I saw a taxi going by on the other side of the street, it's on the other side of a 4-lane highway. What am I supposed to do about that? And the ones going my way, virtually non-existent. I still can't believe I missed that one when I first got here. That was fucking ridiculous. I shouldn't be such a cool customer, I guess. I probably should have just been wow, God, hey, wow, buddy. But I was a bit out of the way. Anyway, whatever. But yeah, I'm at this point now where going both ways, the 2 sides are near enough that I could easily get to either side of the street, and there's a traffic circle, so everybody has to go slower. So basically, I should be able to catch a cab going either way from here. So even if more of them are going away from where I'm going, that's fine. I can just get in and they'll turn around. But then again, whatever. 3 a.m. How far is it from here till 6? And then I can convince myself that 6 is what I'm waiting for, when in reality it's more like 7:20. Whatever. Either a taxi will come or one won't, but I think there's just nothing else to do now. Now it's just wait here and accept my fate. But at least if I'm gonna wait somewhere, it's this fucking sweet ass beach with all the cool statues and stuff. I guess there's still the idea that I could go into a convenience store and try to ask a convenience store worker to call me a cab. Kind of running out of ideas, so there's always that. But again, I don't feel that bad right now. I'm like, yeah, if I have to wait somewhere, this is a primo place to wait. Palm trees, beautiful fucking weird artwork everywhere, a beach at night. I'll hang out here a bit more and just see what happens. Because all I need is for one cab to go by that's available, and I'm all good. But yeah, I guess we'll see. I guess if I start flagging, if I start getting desperate, yeah, I can always go try to talk to a human. It's never my favorite course of action, but there's always that. Oh man, not even 4 a.m. yet. I thought I ate up more time than that. So yeah, I've been hanging out here at this traffic circle for a bit, and it's pretty obvious that nobody else is coming. And I guess as the night goes on, there's also just even less need for taxis. Whatever taxis were going around pretty much dried up, it seems. I guess you just got to get lucky with just one going by, but one is not going by. It seems like a long wait for a train that is never going to come. So the obvious thing would be to go to a convenience store now and just ask somebody to call me a cab, and then I gotta wait for the cab, and then I gotta get in the cab, and then I gotta explain where to go to the cab guy, even though I don't know my own address. And I'm getting tired at this point too, and I'm just like, man, I don't want to do that stuff. So much so that I was like, this coat's pretty nice, and it's still it's just not bad out. And I started thinking of my friend Minu, who is from Korea. I'm not sure where he lives these days. I kind of thought about looking him up while I was in Seoul, but I haven't seen him since 2006 or something. We're still Facebook friends, but I didn't anyway. But this kind of maybe ties into what I'll say in a bit, that I didn't go see this guy even though I'm in his country, or even look him up. But yeah, it's just kind of nice down here, and I'm right by a palm tree right now. Basically, I just saw this this bench that is right by the fence near just a little drop off, a little cliffside down to the beach, just enough to accentuate the view. And it's kind of perfectly positioned where, from what I've heard, it's best not to go tuck yourself away somewhere dark, because then if anybody does want to mess with you, if you're sleeping outside, it's better to be a little bit public, so at least you can be seen. People know you're there. It's better for people to know that you're there. But this is kind of a nice alternative where it's right in this area with all the cool statues and the lights and the traffic circle. But it's just a little bit off to the side. So I'm just a bit in the dark, just so I'm not in the light myself while I'm trying to close my eyes. But anyway, there's this bench here. And I was like, man, I'm just exhausted. Let me just lie down. Even if I'm king too of the way my body works. It's annoying sometimes, but a 20-minute cat nap will keep me going for another half a day, which is real annoying when you're trying to fall asleep. I kind of just got to be exhausted before I can sleep, because if I get a cat nap, then I'd wake up. It's uh-oh. But I was like, I would rather lie down here outside then go talk to the person at the fucking... It's like where I start to wonder, like, do I have some kind of autism or something? I just like that I didn't get in touch with Manu. I like being in a country where I can't really talk to people and read stuff. I don't want to go talk to a guy and ask him to call me a cab. Like, it's such a nothing thing, right? Most people, I think, would probably not think that was at all weird, especially when the reward is that you get to go home. But I was like, dude, how long really is it? What if I just go fucking lie down, man? And I lied down with my nice coat, and I was like, oh, and I bought those socks from Daiso. I bought 2 pairs of socks. It's like a perfect little pillow. I got a hood on this thing too, a hood on this bad boy, but the addition of a pillow. The only downside is I'm surprised how cold. Oh, maybe that explains it. I thought this was a wooden bench. It's actually made out of rock. This thing is cold, though. I'm definitely noticing. I laid here for 20 minutes and didn't actually sleep, but yeah, the coldness of this thing is seeping in. I could for sure use an extra layer, even just the classic hobo cardboard box or something. So I don't know. I don't know if it's realistic to actually just chillax here until the buses start running. Again, it's almost 4. Again, if I convince myself that I only have to get to 6. Where did I get 6 in my head? When it seems to actually be 7. But anyway, I mean, obviously, once the sun starts coming up, then I will be up and about. This is only a thing because it's just the middle of the night and it's dark. But man, it's just kind of nice. Like, nice little breeze, palm trees ahead of me, above me. I can't see the stars anymore. I don't know if it's light pollution or if cloud cover actually came in. There are a lot of lights around here, though. But I was even thinking, like, I've got my little headphones in, but I'm not playing anything. It's just like as sort of earplugs to just dull sounds a little, even though there's very little going on around here. You know, I heard like one person walk by, it is kind of like, it's very impossible to sleep through that. Like, they just walked by, they didn't care, but, you know, you can't help but think, like, uh-oh, what if someone who just hates homeless people comes over and kicks me in the head? But then I even noticed, like, I always sleep with rain sounds or sometimes ocean sounds. And I was like, dude, I can hear the real ocean. I can hear the lapping of the waves over in that beach. You can't hear them right now, but when it's really quiet, you can hear them. And yeah, the coat is fine. The little pillow is fine. It was actually really nice. It is just kind of cold, kind of chilly. Although I'm just thinking now, because like my hip is fine, it's really just where my upper body is laying on this thing. But I've still got this knee brace, these double knee braces on, and they're just like, you know, a stretchy, elasticy knee brace deal. But I don't need it on. In fact, I should take it off when I'm laying down. What if I take off my knee brace and just put it under where my arm is laying against, you know, I'm laying on my side, where my arm is against this rock? Maybe that'll be all right. Oh yeah, I brought up Manu and I didn't say why. When Manu, I met him in Vancouver, and that was my first taste of kind of South Korean culture, in the sense that he told me about how stressful it was and how, like, you couldn't even get a date with somebody unless you were a good prospect to have a nice car and a fancy house and a good job. And it blew his mind because we were all young, handsome, mid-20s people back then. It blew his mind that he could just date people. We worked at a movie theater, and, you know, he was a handsome guy. But, you know, in Korea, that wouldn't have mattered if he worked at a movie theater. He's not cool enough, where in North America, he's just dating girls, and it was all good. And he just was like, this is incredible. What a fun place. Like, he really didn't want to go back to here, to South Korea. In fact, he wrote a whole book about the experience, and then unfortunately could not get it published. But yeah, he ran into some drama. His roommates were, I think if I remember right, he was living with 3 women. And I think, yeah, just kind of handsome womanizer Manu. What I'm trying to say is, I don't know what happened with Manu and his roommates, but I have a feeling him living with 3 women and the fact that he was dating around and stuff, drama happened of some kind, and he got kicked out. So anyway, I let him stay with me. He stayed at my place for a while, I don't know, a couple weeks. And I mean, I didn't give a fuck. I was like, yeah, this is fun. I took him to maybe I told this story already, that I took him to a 50s diner that was near my place. And he was like, oh, it's like Back to the Future. So we went to a DVD shop and he bought the Back to the Future trilogy and we watched all those movies. And yeah, we just had a good old time. And the point of all of this rambling is that one time before then, Manu told me, he's like, yeah, I slept on the beach last night. You know, I just fell asleep on the beach. Then I got up today and I took a shower and I went to work and I love North America. I love Canada. Oh man, the sky is purple over there. What time is sunrise around here? I gotta assume it's not happening for a while. Let me put my glasses back on. What the fuck's going on over there? That is fucking gorgeous. What the shit? Oh, it's changing color. There's lights over there. Okay, so that's not a natural phenomenon. Wow, though, what the fuck is that? That's like a huge light in the distance. Yeah, now it's kind of like a teal color. And then purple again. Fuck. Dude, it must be like a combination of that it's nighttime, but all of this, the haze in the air, like there definitely seems to be cloud cover that has come in. Yeah, it's definitely more hazy now than it was before. And like I said, I can't see any stars. So whatever that light show is, whatever that thing is, it is bouncing off everything. That is fucking beautiful. But yeah, basically in remembrance of Manu, who is alive and well and doing fine, sleeping on the beach. I'm sleeping beach adjacent, and I doubt I'll be sleeping. I doubt I will fall asleep at all, but I could lay here for 2 hours, right? What's that? What the fuck? Why not? This is nice. It's just a little touch cold. I'm a little concerned about the cold, but yeah, if I take off this knee brace, just making do with what I got, put it under my arm. But yeah, the point is I would rather do this. I would rather. Again, this will be a nice memory later, and this actually ain't that bad right now. This is a lot better than walking. Just chilling, man, and it's just like nobody's here. Nobody is fucking here. This is the traffic circle where 4 different roads converge and nobody's fucking here. A car goes by once in a blue moon. It feels like quite a safe place to just chill. And then yeah, once the sun comes up, hopefully I'll get like a little bit of rest from laying here. Maybe I'll even fall asleep. It's not impossible. Like I said, if I get 20 minutes, I will be a rocketeer. And then, yeah, just fuck around a little more. Next thing I know, buses will be running. You know, I could still bail out. Maybe it'll suddenly strike me that this is insane. Whoa, yeah, it's way more misty. Oh, dude. Yeah, this initial approach to the beach where I crossed the street and missed what turned out to be my last chance at a cab. But it's all lit up all along the side of the beach with these different colored lights. Let's see, I'll tell you. Yellow, green, red, blue. Green, yellow, blue, red. Yeah, so just those 4 colors. And now they're all hazy and misty. That is fucking beautiful, man. Oh, and I can hear, see, this is how little traffic there is. I can hear that car before I can even see it. And then it's going to slowly come around the corner. Oh, there we go. I can see headlights. And then it'll slowly make its way over here, and I will observe that it is not a taxi because they are done for. It's 4:01 in the morning now. No more taxis. There were hardly any to begin with. Wait a minute. Is that a green thing on the top? Pick up my fucking socks. It cannot be. Dude, we can't get this live, right? Live to tape? This is insane. It looks green on the top. I'm walking over there. This is insane. That cannot be. That cannot be. That's fucking mental. Crossing the street. I'm prepared. That can't be. This is insane. Why has he just stopped? What the heck just happened? Is there even another street there? Is he picking up someone else? Is there someone else around here? Whatever, I'll report after. I'm going to turn this thing off. I'm walking toward what seems to be an available taxi, but he just pulled over to the side of the road all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on. Maybe he stopped for a smoke? Anyway, yeah, I'll turn off the recorder because I'm going to see if I can sort out what the fuck's going on here and maybe be saved at the 0 hour. Oh, yeah, he's milling about. Maybe he did stop for a cigarette. That works for me. Right. I'm back at the Hotel Pine Hill, but now perversely, despite the fact that it's 4:30 in the fucking morning. Let's go take a quick walk around the block just because I don't want to talk too loud right outside my hotel. Wake anybody up. But anyway, yeah, so how fucking ridiculous is that, right? Just as I'm, oh, maybe I'll just sleep outdoors. This is a good plan. And then we just see the taxi. So yeah, I went up and the guy was just taking a little break. Though there was a turnoff up there. So I don't know if that's where he was going to go. It was a possibility if I didn't walk up and intercept. Maybe he would have driven away the other way. But yeah, I showed him where I was going on my phone. Hopped in the cab. And then I don't know if this goes with or against what I was just saying about, like, I don't know what my problem is about not wanting to go talk to people at convenience stores and do these basic things. But then once we got in there and we started driving, then I want to express my joy, how happy I am that this all worked out. So I just started saying stuff like, oh yeah, it's really far. It's way too far to walk. And then as we were driving, the beautiful mist in the air, and I was like, it's really pretty, right? So, I mean, does this add or subtract from my case that I'm happy to talk to a guy, but now I'm talking to a guy who doesn't speak English? What the fuck am I doing? Why am I putting him through this? So he had to, he lifted his fingers and he was like, English, just a little. And I was like, oh yeah, me too. I mean, I gave him my little song and dance that I can count to 5 and I can say tired and hungry in Korean, and that's it. Useless phrases to know, but it gets a laugh. At least it gets a laugh. I was like, that's it. That's what I can say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 피곤해요, 배고파요. That is all. Well, I'm walking by the GS25 where I talked to that guy too. I told him about how I was going to do the circumnavigating Jeju plan. Now I feel like a real fucking, just every little person that I had a conversation with, who gives a shit? But yeah, we were going along and he gave me a charger for my phone. That was nice. And especially when we were out in those boondocks, once we got closer to Segwapo, there were actually, not a lot of traffic, but 4 a.m. occasional traffic. But there was nobody out there, which, I mean, I guess I knew firsthand, laying on the goddamn bench, just lay there and like a car would go by every 10 fucking minutes or something. But yeah, there's just nobody on the road. This would be the best fucking place to do Fast and the Furious, man. Do some drift racing. There's nobody. It was like a weird, like a video game, but not. It was like a video game test level where there's not even other racers. You're just like going along. It was fucking really cool. And I actually cut it a little bit close. I mean, I don't know, again, how the payment stuff works. Maybe they could just take a card. I don't know, though, because I have a foreign card. I mean, worst case scenario, I could have just been like, change of plans, take me to 7-Eleven, please, and I need to hit an ATM. But it came to about $26, which is not bad. Not at all bad. That's less than $1 a kilometer. But I only had about 35, so that's, that's good. I'm glad I wasn't a bit farther away. So I had enough, and yeah, like it came to, what'd I say, $26, something like that. So I gave him 30, and I just wrote on my little Google Translate, please keep the change. You really helped me out. And, but I don't know that there's so much a concept of keeping the change or tips or whatever. There's even, I don't know how it works in Korea, but I know in Japan, they say it can, like, people can take offense to it potentially. Like, well, you think I didn't do a good enough job, whatever. Because even with that, he kind of gave a little chuckle, but he did try to give me my change, and I was like, no, please, like, for real. It's like $3, just please take it. I wish I could give you more. You saved my stupid ass. I mean, beyond a normal salvation. I was about to just, like, try to fucking hobo it up on a random beachside. Whoa, this is pretty. What time is it now? 4:41. So I'm just wandered around the block to the seafront here, where I'm at the park, the bottom of the park where you head up to the $2 waterfall. And the sun is just starting to rise out in the distance, out where I came from. So there's a little patch out in the distance where it's starting to get light. But yeah, man, for sure type 2 fun, fun that is going to be better. Oh, there's a little local bus going by with some people on it. The world's waking up. Yeah, this is type 2 fun for sure. This is going to be retrospect fun. Obviously this was a bit of a to-do today, and I'm pretty worn out. My poor little body is definitely feeling it. But under those circumstances of retrospective fun, what a rad fucking day, man. That was really fucking cool. Like, there's no question this is going to be one of these little precious memories of Jeju Island. Even just in general, when I'm just, leave and I'm off somewhere else. But I'm thinking specifically of, like, how the first time I went to Japan, and then pretty much as soon as I got back, COVID happened, and it really crystallized everything, where I'd really just, like, think about Japan stuff and be like, oh man, that stuff was so rad, it's so cool, it'd be so nice to go back. I'm thinking of that specifically. I mean, this is going to be cool anyway, but imagine if, God forbid, after I leave Korea, what if COVID part 2 happens, which, or part 10, depending on how you parse it out. But say there was a lockdown and I just couldn't go anywhere again for 4 more years and I was just stuck. I could pretty much guarantee, like, this would be one of those days that I would keep coming back to, I mean, I think it's just because, I have some pretty easy days while I'm traveling. This was a weird one, man. This is like the kind of thing that really just sticks in your mind because it was tough. Again, it's all relative. I guess it wasn't that tough, but relatively speaking, what the fuck happened today? What the hell was all this? I didn't expect any of this. But that's like the cool irony. Getting a little roughage, getting a little texture on your trip. Like, this is going to be one of those really vivid days. Like, that's one thing that's cool about walking around Jeju, is I think with a little effort, I'll be able to recall all the major beats of this, like all the major sections. Like, oh yeah, this led to this, led to this, led to this. But I mean, there's quite a few of the in-between days. I'm not going to remember shit. Days where all I did was hang out in this neighborhood, as nice as it is, just hang out at the hotel and edit shit on my laptop. Like, I'm not going to remember those days. But this day, I'm going to remember this one like a motherfucker. This is going to be vibrant in my mind for a long fucking time, man. Laying on that bench on the beach. Man. Just cool. It's just cool. And it all worked out. And I certainly learned some things about the bus, but also a bit about taxi type shit. And, none of this will feel nearly as bad if it happens again. I'm a lot more prepped. But all right, there we go. I walked all the way around the block. And yeah, man, that's, there we go. Again, yeah, like 4:45. I would have tried to go to sleep earlier than this, but the likelihood I would have succeeded is very fucking slim. So yeah, that alternate timeline where I got on the bus earlier, I don't know. What would I have done? Just be in my fucking hotel room dicking around on the internet. Instead, I had an adventure. Instead, I had an adventure that teed up some future daytime, hopefully less fucking physically wearing adventures. Wow, this store, this weird little, it's like a little hardware store. Oh no, it's fishing. It's called Fishing Island. It's open. How the hell are they open? Well, I guess that makes sense. I guess fishermen, like, they get up at the crack of dawn, right? Red sky at night, sailor's delight. Red sky at dawn, sailors be warned. Is that how that goes? Anyway, back at the hotel. I'm going to go in now. I'm going to go in and I'm going to go to bed. Thank you for listening. Wow, dude. I already thought, like, hey, what a cool day. Saw some weird, cool caves. Met a guy with a drone. Got him to subscribe to my podcast in person. Little did I know, I had a whole fucking secondary adventure waiting for me today. Anyway, I can fucking guarantee tomorrow I ain't doing shit. Tomorrow's a day off, so join me next time for Not Tomorrow. Tomorrow will be nothing. But we'll fade back in on my fucking traveling when I get back on the bus. But whew, dude. Anyway, yeah, that all worked out pretty well. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time.